Scary short story, 15. My son's imaginary friend. Back in the day, when my son was just a 2-year-old, he began to talk about an imaginary playmate named Ted. It all unfolded after we moved into a rental, a house that initially seemed like a perfect fit for our family. Little did we know, however, that this seemingly ordinary home would become the stage for a series of mysterious interactions. The peculiar occurrences started innocently enough with my son, toys being tossed down the hallway, fits of laughter accompanied by what seemed like animated conversations with someone we couldn't see. I'd often catch him pointing at empty spaces, giggling, as if engaged in a delightful exchange with his invisible friend. As the days turned into weeks, our son's interactions with Ted took on a more unsettling tone. There were instances when I would find him reaching up into empty space, as if trying to wrap his fingers around something being dangled in front of him. Other times, he would suddenly burst into tears, as if someone unseen was bothering him, refusing to leave him alone. It was during these moments that the once joyful laughter gave way to distressed cries, leaving my wife and me bewildered and concerned. Our initial dismissal of Ted as a harmless imaginary friend took a darker turn as these incidents multiplied. Night after night, my son's sleep became disturbed, haunted by encounters with Ted. He would wake up in the middle of the night, terrified, claiming that Ted wouldn't let him sleep, incessantly tickling his toes. It was an unnerving experience that left our family in a constant state of distress. To comfort him, we let him sleep in our bed. But the disturbances persisted, transforming our once peaceful nights into a series of harrowing encounters. The innocence of childhood seemed to be slipping away, replaced by a chilling reality that we couldn't comprehend. The rented house that had promised a fresh start for our family became the backdrop for an unsettling chapter in our lives, where the line between imagination and the paranormal blurred with each passing day. Months passed in this unsettling fashion, until one day, during a routine grocery run, I struck up a conversation with a man who was familiar with the property we were living on. As we exchanged pleasantries, the conversation took an unexpected turn when he mentioned that he was familiar with the previous owner of the house that my family and I were renting. His name was Ted. Intrigued and desperate for any information that could shed light on our haunting experiences, I decided to investigate further, turning to newspapers and local archives in pursuit of answers. With newfound determination, we uncovered a local news article chronicling the life of the late homeowner. The details of the article painted a vivid picture of a man who had spent his entire childhood in the very house we had called home. The pieces of the puzzle fell into place with chilling clarity. My son's imaginary playmate wasn't just a figment of his imagination, it was the lingering spirit of the deceased homeowner, Ted. The rented house that had promised a fresh start for our family became a vessel for the unresolved mysteries of Ted's past, casting a shadow over our lives and altering the course of our understanding of the supernatural. Suddenly, our son's innocent interactions with Ted took on a profound significance. The veil between the living and the dead had been breached, and our family found itself entangled in a narrative that transcended the boundaries of the tangible world. Ted had lingered, as if he were waiting for someone to guide him to the afterlife, his spectral presence echoing through the halls of our now haunted home. With this newfound information, my wife and I decided that it was time to live elsewhere. As we prepared to leave, the weight of the revelation bore down on us. Imaginary friends, once dismissed as whimsical creations of a child's mind, had taken on a haunting reality. The innocence we had associated with our son's playmate now carried an ominous weight, and the very notion of imaginary friends had become a doorway to a world beyond our comprehension. The experience left an indelible mark on our family, and the echoes of Ted's presence lingered in our memories. Our perception of the unseen had been forever altered, and the innocence of childhood now mingled with the spectral shadows of an unexpected encounter. Ted's tale became a cautionary whisper, a chilling reminder that sometimes the imaginary can bridge the gap between the seen and the unseen, between the living and the departed. It's a chapter in our lives that we'll never forget, and one that we hope to never experience again.